We didn't scooch. You need to scooch closer. I need to scooch out. You scooch in, I'll scooch out. How's that? We should have done that before we got started.
We should have done all of this already.
I know, right? I need to scooch more than you need to scooch. Okay, you scooch toward me.
I don't think I need to.
Do it anyway. Isn't that better, everyone? Welcome back. We are so organized. We are so terribly actually disorganized today. It's all kinds of background noise going on and life happening. But it's a home. Life happens. Thank goodness it's better than, I guess, the alternative, right?
Yeah, I mean, if life wasn't happening, that went downhill fast.
That would have been bad, right? Oh, no, we won't do that. So, I noticed that your special little box is missing now.
Yes, I finally sent it back to its company in Illinois. It got there Sunday.
How long did it itch?
It's still a little itchy.
Yeah, it looks it. Yeah, you can see like a little, yeah. Not looking good. Itchy.
It's very, still itchy.
What sounds like a helicopter landing in the front yard?
I think that might actually be a helicopter.
Landing in the front yard. Without the dog out there to prevent it, I guess it could definitely happen. She normally barks at aircraft and everything. I don't. It is an aircraft of some sort, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it
is a helicopter. No wonder it sounded like one. That explains a lot. So when do you get to find out what it reveals?
They gave no timeline or anything. I have no idea.
Do you go back to the doctor to find out, or did they call you and tell you? How does that work?
Hoping they're gonna call and tell me, because I don't have another appointment with her until April. So I hope they call before then.
Wow, that's really far off. Yeah, it sounds like the bird wants attention too. It's like everything happens at once. Let's feed bird. Okay,
I think her phone is charging, so I don't think she's gonna.
She usually doesn't notice. So, would you feed the bird, please? Thank you. So, here's, I guess, the other quandary that I've added. My hair fell back out, which was kind of strange because it was growing during chemo, and then it changed that very weird greenish, grayish, strangish color, and then it was gone. I think it's coming back more brown than last time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that the last time was sort of fluky anyway or something.
Actually, most of it looks colored.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, well worth going bald all over again, and my eyebrows are still gone. Here's the strange thing. This eye it's coming back a little bit, but it lost all of its eyelashes. And this eye didn't.
That's weird.
I know. They both went through the same chemo. But here's, I guess, a quandary I find myself in. I've read that even though people, all right, I'll kind of back up a little bit. The type of chemo I had is called Taxol. I've heard it said both ways. I don't know which one's right, but anyway. And one of the warnings with it is that it could cause neuropathy. So to avoid that, my doctor came up with the great idea that you're on for 3 weeks, off a week, on 3, off 1. And then that way your body gets a chance to kind of recover and hopefully you don't get neuropathy. So now that I'm off of it, I noticed all kinds of, well, my left side was already pretty numb. Would you grab that? Thank you. from the surgery, it never really came back. Thank you. We have copies. It never really came back from after the surgery. So I already had a numb left hand, the fingers. Like I don't dare touch something that's hot or grab ice cubes or something with that hand because I don't feel with it. And my arm is also numb, and like my back and my front, and it's just a lot of numb going on my left side, which I credited to the surgery. But then the right side shows all kinds of, oh, that's a lot. Getting cream. Now the right side is getting hit with all sorts of numbness too. And that's alarming me. So all of this is leading to this. I did a bunch of research, and B1 is supposed to help tremendously. Nothing's going to be like an overnight fix because nerves heal slowly, but it should help. So B1, and this also came highly recommended by my research and doctors, and Hero Mag. It's got magnesium in it, and it's supposed to help nerves regenerate. So hopefully it really does, because at this point I'm kind of feeling it like in my feet and in my both hands. The left side's definitely worse, but I don't want to. Like I said, did some research, and one woman didn't have it at all during her treatment, and now about a year since treatment ended, she's using a cane and everything.
Wow, really?
It got that bad. And I'm like, no. I'll be eating every cruciferous. Oh, some days my brain is really, really good, and others it's just not. Today's really hit and miss. Cruciferous. Okay, I'll be eating like cabbage and Brussels sprouts and broccoli and all of that like crazy now, just to help in this matter. I was already ramping up my consumption of those things. Yeah, now those things just won't be safe around me anymore. So there's that. And I met a woman this week, and this was pretty cool. I mean, it was sort of an official type meeting as opposed to, being at Burger Doodle, which if there was one, I couldn't go to it anyway because my blood is still horrible. But it was over the phone. No germs there, thank goodness. At any rate, it was in an official capacity. And in the course of the conversation, it came out that I was being treated with chemo and that sort of thing. And she said that she had been diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. And if I had to, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to repeat what it was. So I'm not even going to try. And she was given like 2 weeks to live. And she was a photographer, like had all kinds of neat lenses and
really?
different wonderful stuff, which she sold.
To you? For me?
No, this was 6 years ago.
Oh.
Well, yeah, it's wonderful how you're getting all excited. That's horrible, Bessie. She's got 2 weeks and she's a photographer, and she has, for me, good.
Well, you didn't say that's why she was selling her stuff. You just said, and she had all this cool stuff and she sold it.
Yeah, because she thought that she had 2 weeks left. And that was 6 years ago. And at this point, she's still showing cancer-free. So I'm trying to get her to join me one day on the show. I think that would be beyond me. And I haven't forgotten that I promised that I'll plant microgreens and record it. I have finally figured out mentally how to pull this over. It's only taken me this long. I've been off of chemo, month and a half, something like that, 6 weeks, something like that. I think around 6 weeks. And my brain seems to, again, it's pretty hit and miss, but it seems to be coming back. I've been doing some complex stuff lately that about a month ago it would have been like, no, can't happen, sorry. So I've been doing some pretty complex stuff lately.
What about your taste?
No, it's still not. Mostly what I do now is I know when something's bad. Like I know if I don't like it, like it's just not good. And if I check with other people in the house salon, I'm like, this is really gross. So they're like, then I know that. But as far as it being really good, I don't know. I just know it's not really bad. And I know when things are like scorching hot by accident, as in spicy, scorching hot. You're welcome for the cabbage. And
Gonna have to put sour cream on that or something.
oh, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, probably a little sour cream on it would make it. I think it tasted good. It was just a little Puff the Magic Dragon scale for most people. So it wasn't, that was what I knew of that. I think it might have tasted good other than, I don't know how exactly, but it ended up hot.
How about your smell?
It has to be really, really, really smellacious for me to notice that it's smellacious. I mean, really bad. Or
When did he start doing that?
she taught him. The only difference is he looks super cute doing it, and she just looks like she shouldn't be doing it. As big as she is, you're like, don't you know better? And with him, it's like you can look at him and know he doesn't know better, but he's cute. He's really cute, but yeah. Yeah, that was him. So this has nothing to do with anything else we've discussed, but we've already realized that with my brain these days, you just buckle up and go with me. Did she feed the bird?
I wasn't paying attention.
I don't think she did, which means the bird's going to complain a lot. She has some food in there, but she likes it best when you literally feed her.
Where's her bird instincts?
I don't know. Well, we gave her a worm the other day. It's apparently there. I was like, I'm going to get sick. She showed no mercy to that poor worm. And I was kind of rooting for the worm. I was like, dude, make your escape now. She doesn't seem to notice. And she landed on the poor thing like a vulture or something. I don't know. It wasn't good.
So she can be a bird.
Oh, she can be a bird, all right. I didn't know. Yeah, anyway. So where I was going before we got bird tracked. It's happening in a home and everyone in it's live. Thank goodness. I think we'd be breaking several laws otherwise. Yeah. So chickens and eggs. I don't, since you personally don't raise, but y'all indirectly raise chickens, I don't know, since the people that you work with gets her own feed directly from, they actually produce it, don't they? Where she gets it? They're
I don't know.
producer/vendors, aren't they?
I never looked into it that deep.
I think that they are. I am not sure. But she works with someone that uses like top grade organic feed that's special ordered, special delivered. I looked into getting it too, and I'd have to meet them about 45 minutes away. And I was like,
Really? Why?
They don't deliver with the small amount comparatively. Your woman must get like a truckload, whereas I wouldn't. That's the difference. I would get like, I don't know. I guess I could ramp it up to getting it once a month, and it would be like dedicated truckload, but I usually, anyway, we get air feed from a store. Oh, well, I'll do it. Tractor Supply. And I noticed that, like, I don't know, around October-ish, my hens that laid year-round last year put up a sign and it just said out to lunch, and they never took it back down. It just stayed up and they quit producing completely. So I try to bring them back to the negotiation tables and everything, and they're like, no. Then I did a little more research, and the feed that I was feeding has been tweaked out. And it now makes chickens stop producing.
How?
It's missing some very key minerals that chickens need to produce. True. So I did what I could do quickly and easily, which was I fixed up a pot of organic pinto beans and started giving them pinto beans with their chicken feed until I could get in a different feed. And then sure enough, after I started a different feed coupled with the pinto beans, in about a week and a half, we started getting production. It's just amazing. I mean, I don't know why they would change the recipe so that your hens stop doing their job. I was already going to be down low anyway because while I was in my height of some really harsh chemotherapy that left me really, really weak, I wasn't able to cut my lawn and my fields and stuff like usual. So I hired someone to do it, and they sprayed weed kill like all over the place. And this is a no spray farm, which part of the total on that was 14 chickens went to glory. So that put me down 14 laying hens.
Really? 14 went?
14 of them I lost. 14 laying hens. That's 1 egg a day, 7 days a week. And at that point, I was getting $5 a dozen.
Really?
So that was painful in a way. I mean, I don't say that I get $5 a dozen because most of the time I just give the eggs away. But it's some people that absolutely insist, no, they pay, and they always gave me $5 a dozen. And now it would be more than that because it's hard to even find eggs. And I can understand why. So I replaced some of the chickens, and they're a little bit, I don't think that they've started producing yet. I'm not quite sure who gave me the eggs I've got. I know that some of them are coming from Easter eggers, and my new chickens are not Easter eggers. So it's probably not them that gave them then, but I don't think that my new ones are laying yet. And I know, totally way off track. It's just, it's one of those things that's just so, what? It's got to get said, you know? You know, I guess the people that don't use feed from that place went on okay and didn't notice. Well, during the winter months, your production's going to drop anyway. The birds prefer to be warm, and they prefer the longer days and such like that. But last year, I dropped very little, almost none. They kept production almost full speed. So this year, when they dropped to nothing at all. I was a little surprised. Mm-hmm. The ducks were slower to be like, yeah, we don't produce anymore. But now they don't produce at all either.
Wow.
I know. Did you ever eat the duck eggs?
Mm-hmm.
And you liked them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like them too. And the chicken ones, I like them both. I like to cook with the duck ones. The higher protein. That makes for a bad cake. Or brownies. Or all these things that, again, more research. If you've got cancer, if you think you have cancer, if you want to make sure that you never get cancer, if you had cancer and you never want it back again, leave any possibility out.
No, I think you covered all the bases.
Good. You don't want to mess with sugar. Sugar is cancer's very best friend. Isn't that awful news? But it is. It's true. Cancer thrives off of sugar and an acidic environment and one more thing it loves. Have I mentioned that, like, I don't always, I might be skipping a cylinder or something. We're still at least one fry short of Happy Meal, or I don't know. I'm working on it, though. So I guess in short, we're still saying, leave sugar alone, ramp up green, try to find like a super green mix. Like if you're just not into eating a lot of salad or microgreens or the such, find a super greens smoothie type thing that you like. A lot of times it ends up tasting like grass.
Yeah.
I mean, to get the amount of greens that you really need, you kind of have to blend your greens into smoothie status, which I'm still trying to just get away with just eating greens.
What about your new venture?
Is it bad?
You're afraid it's going to be.
Help me. Like I said, my mind is so Swiss cheese. Sometimes something lands on a solid part, and other times it's like down the hole and gone.
Your big container of it in the kitchen.
Help me.
And I was like, yeah, I've had it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't, believe it or not, I have made it this age and I have never had sauerkraut, at least not in any, I mean, like I've noticed it was on a sandwich and picked it off and maybe left enough, like you just couldn't get all of it off, but it wasn't enough that I could actually taste it. So I've never actually had it. So now I'm trying to convince myself the jar has been there. It's a big jar too. It's been there at least 2 weeks, maybe a little bit more. And I haven't convinced me yet that I need to have it. So she eats it. She likes it. So I did ask her what she thought of it. And what did you say?
It's something you have to get used to after a few bites.
See? That's the part that scares me.
It's good after a few bites. You just have to.
But then what else did you say?
The taste is kind of vinegary and a little bit musty, but it's good.
But then you also said that you put it on
hot dogs. Ooh, I've had it on those other sandwiches too. I forgot about that earlier. You know, the ones with the beef and the Thousand Island.
Like a Reuben?
Yeah, a Reuben. That.
Yeah, I don't eat them either because they're sauerkraut. Did we ever say it was sauerkraut or did we just assume everyone knows that's what we're at?
We got there.
We did get there. Okay. So it's sauerkraut and I'm still scared of it, and I don't eat Reubens because they do have sauerkraut on them. And that's probably the type of sandwich I picked it off of before. But now I've even pretty much like just sort of ventured away from meat in general.
Maybe this is a good way for you to try it. Just leave the meat off the sandwich. It's got cheese.
And have a sauerkraut sandwich.
With cheese and Thousand Island dressing.
Well, that's the other thing.
It's like a grilled cheese basically.
I'm kind of trying to steer away from cheese now too.
No, not the cheese.
It's another one of those cancer stay away fromers. I know. All right. Has anyone else heard of? I hate to think what he's doing to the door. Has anyone else heard of Barbara O'Neill? Anyone? Look her up. She has got some amazing, amazing information. And I've listened to her. Some of the stories she said, literally, like one story she's got is with her children. The woman had 6 kids.
That's a lot of kids.
6 kids. The woman had 6 kids. And it's been a while since I watched that video of her. And as I recall, one of the children got quite ill, and it required literally being held all night. And she kept falling asleep. Yeah, she's a mom with other kids, and this child is sick, and she's trying to hold it all night. And she kept dozing off, and she would scold herself basically for falling asleep instead of staying awake for her baby. And as the story went on, I found myself literally sobbing for this woman because your mommy's heart just kicks in for her. And in the end, and this is the only part I remember, it was some other part to it, but she fell completely asleep and woke up. I think, if I recall it right, she woke up terrified that probably the baby had passed while she slept. And indeed, not only was the baby alive, it was well.
I was afraid that was about to be a horrible story. I was like, don't make me cry right now.
Like I said, I was beyond just sort of like, it was like, I was sobbing through the story. I was like,
why are you about to do this to me? Oh, I'm glad that ended better than I expected.
I know, right? But yeah, so she's got these wonderful stories, and she's got these paths to natural healing, and I'm all for, if you can do something naturally, do it. I probably would have gone natural with my cancer had it not already been stage 3, had it not already been huge and extremely aggressive, still growing. I mean, the stuff grew even through chemotherapy. Had it not been for those factors, I think I would have seriously considered something way more natural than chemotherapy. I mean, chemo, yes, it does seek out the bad cells. Yes, it seeks out the cancerous cells, and theoretically speaking, it kills them. But it also kills good, healthy cells, which is where I am now, battling to get some facsimile of a good blood count back. I mean, if I stand up anywhere close to fast, I'm like going back down because my red blood cells have flown the coop with the chicken eggs. And I keep going back to that. I'm not getting over that. And it's just, I gave up a lot of good to get rid of bad. And I guess had I caught it at an earlier stage, smaller stage, don't know that I would have gone the path that I found myself having to go, because everything ended up very rushed. We got to hurry up and do this. She tells the story of a woman that has had 3 tumors in her stomach. And she's, how? I never drank, I never smoked, I never. What she did do was make these beautiful meringues She calls them something different. Here we call them meringues, but she was from the Netherlands or something, some other place, so she called them something else that starts with a P. Help.
I don't know.
Sounds like it should be a sweater, but it's a dessert. Pat, I don't know what they're called, but she made these huge, beautiful ones, and it had I think she said 18 cups of sugar in each one.
Wow.
So do you see where probably she ended up with a problem with her tummy and 3 tumors? But she went to Barbara O'Neill's place, and through the work that they do, by the time she left, she was cancer-free. She had completely changed the way that she cooked. She was a beautiful cook. She changed the way she ate. And if people, Pat, what are the things? What did you call it, Pat? Oh, well. If anyone asked her to, would you cook up a meringue for me? She would say, no, I love you too much to do that, but I will make you an apple pie with maple syrup and this and that. And that would be a healthy alternative. And she completely changed everything, and that's what I'm working on now. Oh, the other thing she said she didn't do was drink coffee.
But coffee has all those health benefits.
I know, it does sound like it. And I ramped up my green tea drinking a lot. I can't say I'm a huge fan of it, but I found a loose leaf one that I do actually like. So ramped up my green tea intake. I had stopped sugar during chemo because it just didn't appeal to me at all. And someone's little sister that was actually born in a much older age than both of us keeps introducing sugar to me. And then when I say, Satan, get behind me, she goes, I am, and it looks good from back here too. Doggone her. So yeah, she doesn't help. So long story short, yes, I'm changing my diet. I'm trying to completely give up sugar forever and ever. Cheese was, and will always be a hard thing for me to walk away from. Good night. I like cheese. Sigh, but I'm working on getting away from that. Not necessarily as much for today as for tomorrow. And more broccoli, more spinach, more things that are green, vegetables of all sorts. I've begun enjoying a lot of greens with, say, potatoes or beans or something like that. So it's sort of a, here we go again. It's a word that starts with a C, the potatoes are in.
I never know these.
Oh, come on. Carbohydrates.
Are these your meringue desserts from your story?
Yes, those. Aren't they good looking?
They do look
They
good.
do look good. I've never had one, I don't think, but they do look good. They sound good.
Yeah, I just had to find that. You were talking about it, it sounded good. I wanted to see it.
Bad luck. If someone knows what I'm talking about that starts with a P, please add it to the comments. Bad luck. I don't know.
That's what that is?
Yes.
A pavlova?
Yes, that's the word. Yeah.
I heard of it, but I didn't know what
that's the same
actually
thing.
was.
We call them meringues. Yeah,
I didn't know what that
same thing.
I didn't know that's what that was.
If I understand right, I've never made them, but it's basically egg whites beaten with a ton of sugar and then left to, like in a hot oven or over a refrigerator, something where it's getting slow heat, where it slowly cooks and kind of not exactly crisps up, but sort of crisps up, sort of.
Is this the same thing, or am I thinking of something else altogether? That other stuff, divine something?
No, that's good. Oh, it's another thing I gotta get up.
What are those?
Divinity. I like that. Divinity.
Is
That's
that not the same?
labor intensive. Your aunt makes them, I believe.
What are they like?
Good.
Something else
It's
I
the
heard
white
of and
stuff.
didn't know.
It's basically like a pecan log, but not the pecans and the caramel part, just the inside part. That's like divinity.
I love those.
I know.
And could go without the nuts.
I know.
I want some of this.
No, you can't have it. It has sugar in it. The sugar is just wrong.
I don't eat much sugar.
Go
I can
drink
afford it.
maple syrup.
I don't eat much sugar. I can afford this treat.
Eat something green. Go gnaw a head of cabbage quickly. Get this out of your mind.
I can't now.
So yeah, that's where I am now. And I don't know, that puts me into a ton of other subjects, and I've already tied every one of them up. Thank you, everyone, for joining in on our shenanigans. Again, if you liked us, please hit the like. If you didn't, still be kind and love us. And if you would like to join us in prayer for anything, if you've got any prayer requests, put them in. Or even you can email me if you want. That's in my information. And we didn't do our scripture. So let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. See, I told you I've improved.
Wow, you remember that whole thing on a hard brain day.
I know. It's missing all kinds of cylinders today, and I pulled that one out. Thank you, God. But thank you for joining us, because we still, life keeps happening, so we're missing a schedule. I think that last week she had a doctor's appointment or something, or one of us did. Someone in the neighborhood might have had a doctor's appointment and somehow it involved us. And, I don't know. So we're still kind of missing on scheduling. We keep saying we'll do better. We really, really will do better. It's a lot of things that's coming up and a lot that we want to share. Spring's right around the corner. Technically, this year is supposed to be a no plant day. Fields are supposed to go to rest. And there's supposed to be no canning, no storage type thing going on for this year. So this year could be interesting all the way around. Come and see what we do. Thank you for joining us. Subscribe, ring the bell so that you get notifications. And did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so.
I wouldn't know. I did. But thank you for joining us. Hopefully we will be back again next Thursday. I don't have appointments or anything, do you? No, we should be back on Thursday. Hopefully I'll be alone and get in between. Hopefully, I don't know. Who knows? But thank you, everyone, for joining us. And until we see each other again, peace
Peace
be with you.